come to my attention that I'm not the only one that has had problems with CGC. We're going to be taking a look at some of the stories that people have had that have just been, you know, really bad with CGC. I do want to go ahead and say before we start though, guys, I'm not saying other companies are perfect. I'm sure a lot of you have, you know, have had problems in the past with other companies as well. But I specifically made this past video that, I mean, it's blown up tremendously since then. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the story. If you haven't, you can go check out that video on it. I'll link it at the end of this one so you can watch it after. But a quick summary: manually cut cards with scissors, sent them to CGC, the expert in grading error cards, and they graded them as legitimate error cards, which they should have never been graded. I then made a video to tell people about it. They banned me, talked about legal action in the video, all that good stuff. I'm sure you've all seen it. But there's a ton of people that have also left their own comments of their own experiences with this specific company, CGC. I wanted my voice to be heard and my situation to be heard, and it was. Thanks to all of y'all for, like, you know, pushing it out and everything. So, but I wanted to share some of these stories with y'all as well. This is from sub2_pokexy. I got banned from them as well after I sent them a Pokemon card in pristine condition, got it sent back, and the whole slab was cracked and parts broken off them. I sent them a letter, and the next thing I know, I'm banned for asking what happened, so I completely understand the frustration. I will also say that there's a lot of comments and stuff that we're going to be looking at today, and I just didn't have the time to either, you know, find these people's Instagram accounts so I can DM them for proof and all that stuff. I'm sure these people, if you want to comment back to them, would be more than happy to share their stories, and I'm sure they do have proof. I'm just saying, going into this, we're just talking about the stories that they might have shared in the comments, but like, I can't tell y'all that this is 100 million% true. I'm sure it is, but I would bet my money that it is after everything we've seen with this company over the past 2 weeks. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. But anyways, this person is basically saying that CGC also banned them. So it sounds like CGC sent back a cracked slab for somebody that graded with them. Slab was broken. Sounds like they sent them a letter or an email, and CGC banned them. I mean, if that's true, that's absolutely crazy. It's ridiculous, but we're seeing the same thing with this current situation, that CGC is definitely not a company that wants to rectify anything. Everybody keeps asking me for an update on CGC. There's not much of an update, y'all. They have not reached out to me whatsoever. The only thing that's changed with CGC since my last video where they unfollowed me on Instagram, they've now blocked me on Instagram. So everybody, the video on Instagram currently has 795,000 views, and on TikTok it currently has 862,000 views. So, you know, so CGC's been tagged like 1 million times on both of those posts, and they blocked me. They don't want nothing to do with it. They don't care. I don't think they're going to try and rectify this situation at all. I don't think they're going to reach out. So this guy's story is not a stretch to believe by any means, that he sent an email and got banned and blocked or whatever it may be. It's crazy, bro. It's actually, it's disgusting. Next up, we have the Frisky Squid, who said, crazy, but not surprised when those Charizard cards were graded a 10. To think I was looking at CGC pristine 10s on eBay the other day. Gonna avoid CGC like the plague from now on, just like everything other than Beckett/PSA. Even though I've seen PSA grading obvious 8 to 9 centering as a 10. So boom, there you go. Like I said, no company's perfect. I'm sure all these companies have made mistakes. The biggest mistake here is that we see over and over again, and we'll get into this later in the video, is that this company never does anything to fix their problems once they happen. And what this guy is talking about, he said he's not surprised when he saw the Charizard cards were graded a 10. I actually did a video on this like 2 months ago. A bunch of very expensive Charizards, obviously completely damaged, all scored the best 10s that you can currently get with CGC, and that was a whole thing itself. I reached out to them in the DMs, and if y'all aren't caught up on that, you know, it was a bunch of BS. They blew me off over the shoulder. They said, hey, we're going on vacation, we'll get back to you after the vacation. Yeah, they never got back to me. It should have been expected, but I had hopes. I had faith that they would get back to me. Whether he saw that from my video or from somebody else's video, people are losing trust in you, CGC. They're truly losing trust in you as a company because these mistakes just keep reoccurring. Next up, we got Hobo Love said, I have $5,000 worth of 9.5s stuck at their reholder service for 2 months now, while they still grade their junk slab super quick. They suck. Hey, you ain't lying with that last part, homie. I agree. $5,000 though is actually no joke. I don't know if this person's reached out. I don't know if CGC has said anything. Sounds like they haven't. If it's been stuck with no movement for 2 months though, I mean, 2 months is a super long time. That's just bonkers. It's just ridiculous. Next up, we got my boy Opossum Bud. Big shout out to Opossum Bud. He covers very informative stuff in the Pokemon world. He's actually covered my situation on this CGC stuff, and yeah, big shout out to Opossum. Y'all make sure you go check out his channel. But he actually had an experiment himself go down where I'll give you a quick summary of his situation. I'll put a clip in here of him in a second. Somebody on Instagram was using, like, there's some sauce or some cleaner, whatever it may be, that you can put on the cards and send them to CGC to try to like up the grade a little bit or something. The person who did that was basically saying that they snuck by CGC for doing it. Anyways, Opossum reached out to CGC himself personally in a direct message. Also, he's also been in contact with CGC about it and was just trying to hold them to a higher standard, saying, hey, this is going on. This shouldn't be happening. Again, it's another situation like the cut cards where they're grading things they shouldn't be. They are supposed to be an expert company in grading these type of things. And these type of things are slipping by nonstop, bro. So Opossum's in the DMs with them. I want to throw this clip in because then like CGC completely lies about talking to him or seeing the message or something.
Funny because I literally tagged you guys in the video and you responded to it. You guys acknowledged that you looked at the video, and 2 days after you put up this. We will not be altering cards. We will not accept your chemically altered cards. If that's not a response, I don't know what is.
So yeah, it's just a crazy situation. Opossum did a whole video on that. I'm gonna link Opossum's video in the description of this video so y'all can go watch that one as well. I watched that months ago and I was already shocked at that situation. Even still, I was telling myself I'ma still grade with CGC. I didn't realize how many stories there are out there of CGC messing up and doing nothing to fix the situation. He has multiple videos on CGC as well. They're not a good company, y'all. They're not a good company. Mountain Peak TCG said, man, after all the shady shit I've seen with CGC, I will not grade with CGC. I had some 9.5s I bought. I'll send them to PSA instead of that CGC 10. I would as well, bro. Then we got Cody on Instagram had sent me a DM. He said, CGC literally just lost one of my subs 2 weeks ago after I told them for 2 months, where's my order? They said it's gone, claims they will get a hold of me. Nothing still. They're so trash. Sounds like the same thing, just reoccurring. Happened with Opossum where they don't contact them back. Happened with me. We're going on vacation. They lose this guy's freaking collectible. We don't know how much this card is. This could be a $10 card. This could be a freaking $1 million card. We don't know, but either way, I mean, the card is going to be important to this guy. As you can see, he's reaching out to me about it. They lost his card, said they would reach back out to him about it, and they never did. It's absolutely ridiculous, bro. It's so ridiculous. It's hurting my head even thinking about how many mess ups this company has that are now coming to light. How many people have been affected by stuff they've done wrong that they will not come out and fix. It's crazy. Hey Durs also sent me a DM on Instagram. FedEx lost an error sub I sent on the way. Hey, FedEx, hey, homie, FedEx probably just did you a favor by losing that because, you know, CGC error cards, we know those ain't even legit anymore. But he said, FedEx, I'm kidding, by the way. I feel bad for this guy. He said, FedEx lost an error sub I sent on the way and took 8 months of CGC ridiculous claims process to pay me. Didn't even get an apology and only paid out the raw card's value. No refund on the grading fees or shipping. That's a joke. This is an absolute joke company. This is such a joke, bro. 8 months of your time now gone. I want y'all to really think about this. 8 months of this guy's time is now gone down the drain. On top of that, it is an error card. Error cards, you know, there's a lot of people in the community that really like error cards. They're hard to get. They're rare. So I'm sure this was like a prize card to him. They don't give you any apology and then they just give you the raw card value. No refund on the grading, so they still charged him the grading and the shipping fees. They just gave him the price of the error card back. It's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe it. Swiss Collecting said, funny also because they rejected real misprints I sent in a few weeks ago. So I manually cut cards and sent them in, and those got labeled as legitimate error cards. And this guy said he sent in some error cards, legitimate error cards, and CGC didn't grade them. So, I mean, if that doesn't go to show you that CGC legitimately cannot grade error cards correctly, or even cards for that matter, I don't trust CGC at all. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. There are thousands and thousands of comments now. I just quickly went through and grabbed some so I could kind of share other people's stories, because these people's voices deserve to be heard too. I said it in the last video I did. CGC is doing this to me with a voice, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to get behind the camera and share some of y'all's stories with CGC. Just like I said, if they're doing it to me with a voice, imagine all the other people they've screwed over. And now that is coming to light. There's so many comments I didn't even go over about people's stories and stuff. If y'all want me to do a part 2 on this video and share some of your stories, I'm more than happy to. Let me know, guys. Don't make up any stories, you know, leave some real stuff in here. And if you want to DM me proof, that would actually be much better. On Instagram, you can DM me proof, Shiny Vert. Also, we got this box right here. I'll get to that in 1 second. But first, I do want to tell y'all, seriously, thank you so much for getting the videos spread out as much as they did. It's absolutely insane to see how far these videos went. I didn't think they were going to go that far. I really didn't. This was mind blowing. I've had an article written about me from a huge company. They did an article on it. There was a second one done, spreading like wildfire right now, and I'm so happy and I'm so thankful to y'all watching, because you are the only reason it's spreading. It's amazing to see how far this went, because people can now make their own informed decisions on who they want to grade with and stuff. And you know, as I've said, my recommendation is not CGC, but now people can make their own decision based on what we've been able to do here. Last thing I want to say, there was a few comments where people said, why'd you only do this with CGC? Why didn't you try the other companies? Why didn't you experiment with PSA and Beckett? Well, first of all, I sent the error cards and the cut cards to CGC because they are the ones that promise to be, you know, the experts on error cards. They removed the subgrades. They did all this. All they got left is the error cards, really, in my personal opinion, and they can't even do that right. Just to ease your mind, I had already sent something off to PSA, and that's what's in this box. I did an experiment with them as well. Really don't want to get banned by PSA. Really don't. And I don't know the outcome yet. The box is still sealed with tape on it, but that will be tomorrow's video. So if y'all want to see that, I don't want to get banned by PSA, bro. But we'll see what happens. So if y'all want to see that video, that should be releasing tomorrow. Drop a like. Let me know in the comments if y'all have stories that I'd be more than happy to share them for y'all on camera. Hope you learned something from this. And it's fuck CGC, baby. It really is. It really is. I mean, I don't care anymore. I try to laugh. About it and stuff, but it's seriously fuck CGC. That's a shitty company. If you haven't seen the CGC videos, you know, click one of these up here and go get caught up on everything. It's freaking ridiculous what they're doing. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the PSA experiment.